G'day peoples, we are back. Paul and Chris, Insight Sessions. We are episode 19, smashing through these. Today, we are going to look at business models, and this is something that became very, very popular. I mean, I saw this a lot in the agency space, and you probably saw this as well, Paul, in e-commerce, is adding subscription models to your e-commerce business. And why would you want to add a subscription model to your business? And we're going to get into that. And a big shout out to Paul's wife, Emma, for suggesting this topic because we think it's pretty killer. And it's really, really, really interesting way to add recurring revenue, or MRR, monthly recurring revenue, make your business a bit more predictable, because the more of these things that you can sell, you sort of know what's coming in next month. So it can really help to sort of flatten out the peaks and troughs in the business if you get this right. So we're going to look at what a subscription is, just in case you don't know what one is, and how that might look and what that might look like for an e-commerce business. Talk about some examples that we see out there that are doing it really well. But why, I guess, up front, and Paul, you can feel free to jump in and answer this as well, but why would you want a subscription service in your e-commerce business? I think for me, it's the same reason you'd want a subscription service in any business. Number one, I think it's like kind of real low-hanging fruit, so you can kind of target people that maybe don't want to buy. Maybe you got like $100 product or a $200 product or a $50 product, and not everyone wants to buy that thing right now. But maybe you've got something in your business that you like, a secondary product, or you could take that $200 product and spread the payments out essentially over a year or 6 months, right? Break it down into a monthly payment. And now for $10 a month, $20 a month, you might pick up a whole new audience, pick up people that don't want to spend that flat money. That's probably one reason. And if that other reason that you've now got something that's recurring, I've got 10 people on my subscription, I've got 100 people on my subscription, I've got 1,000 people on my subscription, and at $10-20 a month, I now know I've got next month, I've got at least 20 grand coming in, because I've got people on this recurring revenue system. So I think that flattening out that peak and trough in the business is a massive, massive reason you'd want to try and implement something like this. And you've seen this pretty recently on some stuff, and maybe you can talk about how this kind of looks for an e-com business.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like you said, the said a lot there, but the takeaway from that is that your revenue is consistent and your revenue is growing, right? So you can forecast what you need to be doing every month. You're like, all right, cool. We know that we actually need to have like this many staff running the warehouse and running the sales and running the customer service and blah, 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 like for the next couple of months, because we've got 50K of revenue, and, assuming the world doesn't explode tomorrow, then there's a good chance that 50K revenue is still going to be there the month after as well. So, that is like the most important reason. Obviously, the other reason as well is because you've got all that like kind of almost like pre-book revenue, makes your business a lot more valuable as well. So if you go into any business, you sell whatever you want, you can sell buddy tea or something, or coffee or something, so every month we have 100 people that buy, whatever from us. We got 100 grand recurring revenue. You go, cool. Those people probably going to buy from us for the next 2 years, 3 years, if everything goes to plan. The investor comes along and they're like, okay, 100 grand of revenue, 1.2 million bucks a year versus of revenue, profit is half, whatever it is. All right, nice guys. We think you've got a brilliant idea. We're going to give you, $1.5 million for your business right now. We're going to improve your operations, improve your systems, sell more stuff, spend more money on marketing, and grow the business to do like $1 million a month. Blah 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 blah. And they're like, happy days. And you're not like, in that instance, you're not constantly chasing like new clients all the time. You're servicing the existing clients, and then all the new clients, it is very complementary to the existing clients. So your recurring revenue goes from 100K to 150 to 100, 200 to 250 to 300, blah blah blah. So the numbers that you're trying to maintain are maintain clients, don't have churn, which means people leaving, and add new people. And then from that, it's like, how do I get more other subscriptions out of those people that are already subscribing every month? So they come on board and they have a $25 subscription for 3 months and go, hey, looks like they like spending money with us. Let's go get them to spend $50 and $100 and $200 and whatever, and then again, you're increasing their customer lifetime value. They're telling their friends, blah, 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 blah. Super simple business model, right? So,
Yeah.
and the reason we're talking about this episode is so I was in a group, Facebook group the other day, and some guys were like, "What underwear does everybody? What underwear are you guys wearing?" Very masculine post in the blokes group. The very straight blokes group, by the way. Tradies and stuff.
They weren't asking
and
for selfies.
no, they weren't like trying to buy them or anything like used undies or anything weird. But but the dudes are like all the tradies, and I just wear Bonds. I just wear stuff from Kmart. I just wear stuff from here. And everyone's like, yeah, same as me. There's like 300 dudes in that group, and they mentioned this underwear company called there's one called Step One, and I don't think they do subscription. I don't know, but I found another one called Nobbies, which is I think is a killer name. And there's like 100 dudes in there, right? And like, oh yeah, I use Nobbies every month. I get a new pair of jocks. Rock up at the door in a bag. It's got cool packaging and blah blah blah. Here's your new undies. Throw away your old ones. And I'm like, that's a genius idea. I looked at the site, killer site. Colorful, looks really good. Blah blah blah. I mean, they have a few things on the site they can fix, so we might send them this episode and give them a, do a crow audit for them. But for the most part, like I think that's a genius idea. It's something that blokes wreck after a while anyway. Depending on your stage of life. If you're out there dating, you're going to want new, clean, fresh undies all the time. So it's great. You know what I mean? If you're a dad, you're too busy to go buy them, so you're just rocking up at your door. If you're an active dude,
till Christmas.
You don't have to wait Christmas from your mum, even when you're like 45 and she's still buying your underwear. So it's like perfect business model, right? And yeah, you log in, it's like $25, and I want it monthly, or I want it quarterly, or I want it whatever, or I want 2 pairs, 3 pairs, 4 pairs, and away you go. Happy days.
Yeah,
like I think,
really anything that you can, that's something that you're going to need regularly. So I have the same thing. So I have 2 subscriptions. I have a subscription service to pet food. So I got to feed my dog. So I have a month. It's like every 11 weeks they send me out my food and just shows up. I don't have to wait anymore. So it's literally, which is brilliant. I don't have to go to the store and get it. Just it shows up right on time. And I got the same thing with coffee. Yeah, no. It was interesting with the subscription with the coffee that I buy. I usually I'd buy it once at a time, and then the subscription thing comes up and says buy the same thing, get 10% off, and add it as a subscription. So I get 10% off, and again, it just shows up right on time when I don't have to go. It's running out. I'll run out now. I need to go buy it. I've always got the stock of that thing because it's always auto refilling itself, and it's 10% off, so it's even better. But that kind of thing where it's something that's renewable or needs renewing, or maybe you've got like something like a water filter business, or children. You're selling a water filter and you got to replace the filters every 6 months. That on a subscription, you just sign up and every 6 months it shows up. You don't have to think about it. I think that like removing the thinking or the doing or having to go and pick it up. I think that's a that's a massive piece. So
we have the same thing. So because we've got 2 boys under 2, so we have on Amazon, I have nappies, wet ones. They're rocking up every 2 weeks, like another 9,000 pairs of nappies for my 2 kids that just poop all the time and wee all the time, because they're babies, and then we have things like soy milk. We literally have like 8 things of soy milk. We'll rock up once a month because my wife drinks soy coffees and blah blah blah. Then we have we have so many subscriptions now that I think about it, other than just the undies. Pet food is like we've got 3 dogs, so Pet Bun and Pet Stock send us stuff every 6 weeks as well. It just rocks up. If we run out, you've got to run to the supermarket, buy the stuff, come home, blah 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 blah. I literally have like probably 50 things on Amazon that's under subscription that just I wish I could get like black hats under subscription and stuff like this. I do have t-shirts and stuff under subscription now, and pants, and I probably need to get shoes as well. But it's not only that it's a convenience, so it's good for the business, right? So that's our point in this episode. It's amazing for the business because they got that revenue, but for your customer as well, why should you be pushing this as an idea? So you just save so much more time. I don't need to go to the hat shop and buy the hat and blah blah blah. Just send me a new one every month because this one's going to get put in the wash and it's going to get destroyed after I've worn it 3 times and whatever. Or you're gonna the dogs are gonna eat, so and you're too busy, and then your dogs are starving. Like you said, you're just carrying around big bags of bloody pet food back to the car. Like in my wife's instance, she's She's got 2 kids, so she's got a pram, 2-year-old, and a baby. And she's like, "Baby, ran out of pet food." I'm like, "Okay, can you go get it?" She's like, "Yeah, no stress. I'll push the pram in with the kids, and then I'll put the dog food that's 20 kilos. I'll just carry that under my arm as well." You know what I mean? So the whole subscription model is brilliant.
Convenience.
Every e-com store should be having a subscription thing. I really can't think of like any e-com businesses that can't benefit from having some kind of subscription. Someone comes along and buys even a technology product from you. They come and buy a bloody pair of glasses, that help you protect your eyes from the blue lights and stuff. And you go, "Hey, 6 months from now, we're going to send you another pair. Do you want to do that?" And we'll literally give them to you for like 40% off. You're like, happy days. Done. Send them another thing, or phone cases or whatever, or post-it notes from Office Works or anything like stuff that you're always going to use. It's always there. A new diary every year. You got a planner, you got a diary. It's like, cool. Come December 20th or something, you've got to get your 2023 diary, and then next year you're going to get your 2024, the latest and greatest version. So you're not like just a one sale. All right, got to go chase another sale and another sale and another sale.
Yeah, so there's kind of like a real natural fit for this with stuff that's like perishable, right? So like nappies and coffee and printer ink and stuff that it's perishable. At some point it stops working and you need to go get a new one. But I'm sure there's probably a ton of people listening that are like, well, people buy my thing once and that's it. But I like what you kind of said there, like a subscription doesn't have to be weekly or monthly. It could be like annual, right? Or biannual, or every 3 years. Maybe it's like a motorbikes part or something, right? And that part lasts for 5 years, but in 5 years' time, hey, we'll send you a new one, or we'll send you a new one at 10% off, 20% off. So that like the length of the subscription doesn't have to be monthly. It could be a longer period. So that could be something. But how else would you do it if you had something like, I sell a thing and literally everybody that buys it, they only need it once because it's amazing quality. It never breaks. The thing that, like, for me, where you could work that, I would try to find like a complementary product, something that sort of goes with the thing that they're going to keep forever. So maybe it's an item, a cosmetic item, and they keep it forever. But maybe you could add in like a brush or a cream or a varnish or something that is kind of perishable, and that could go on a subscription, or like a bundle of stuff that could go with the main thing that you sell.
It could be the service that's associated with that thing, though. So say, for example, you buy a wedding ring and you spend an engagement ring and you spend 20 grand on your engagement ring. You enter someone into a subscription where, assuming they buy, so I'm in Victoria, let's assume I buy the engagement ring for Emma from Victoria. I bought it overseas because it was way better and better quality. But assuming I did, part of the subscription is once a quarter, you come into our come into our shop and we'll give it a new, I think it's called iridium coating or something. And like she recently did that. It cost like $400 or something, right? So we'll go come into the shop like once a quarter, with your $14,000 ring, and for $250 instead of $500, we'll polish it. You give it to us, we'll polish it. We'll come back in a couple of days, blah blah blah. So yes, you've got a 14 grand sale up front, and then you've got another 4 times a year, basically. Like there's another $1,000 for as long as Emma is married to me, which is hopefully forever. But do you know what I mean? Like there's an example.
She could just keep the ring, I guess. So as long as she wants the ring,
or she keeps the ring, yeah. But like you mentioned, things like like the motorcycle stuff. Like someone buys a motorbike, or send them bloody chain lube, send them bike wash stuff, send them like polish,
oils,
and or you buy a bike and you go, cool, would you want us to send you like oil, blah blah blah, like quarterly to fill up your oil in your motorbike? Like, yeah, I kind of need that, or like the subscription is like in the vehicle industry, your subscription is a service. Come back and we'll service it for you. You know what I mean? But if you're selling them something that they can do themselves, so like I know a guy who sells like bike wash products. I don't know that he does subscription, but like has a killer product, does killer marketing. I assume he does retail and blah blah blah. But you just rock up, you just open your door once every quarter, and you're like, you got a whole bunch of cool new stuff to wash your bike with, your mountain bike, your motorcycles, your push bike, and you're like, happy days, cool. now I'll go do it. I couldn't bother going to the shop and blah blah blah. Again, such a simple product. It's on subscription, and it's adding to his monthly recurring revenue, and like amazing model.
Yeah, I really like the undies model as well. I like that, and I think we see this a lot where it's a bit of a surprise almost. I quite like that kind of model. Like we're gonna send you something every month. Like you don't know what pair of undies is coming next month, so it's like a little surprise every time. But like for me, like I might buy like some sort of like mustache wax, and like every month they send a new one that has a different scent or something, right? Or you see this with like beer and wine packages, right? You get a wine subscription, and every month they send you a 12-pack of kind of their choice, or
like
a
whiskey
beer subscription, and like a whiskey subscription or a wine subscription. They're just going to send you 12 bottles that they pick for you. Vino Mofo does that really well. They also do like beer things, and like every month they're going to send you 12 cans of beer, and they're all completely different. You get to taste all these different things. So I think that's really interesting as well. If you can kind of package up different stuff, and then your customers get to try all of your different stuff, and you don't like through all of that, they might go, oh, I found this flavor or this scent or this version that I wouldn't have bought, but now I've tried it, I love it, and on top of my subscription I'm going to keep buying that thing on top of my subscription. So I quite like that. It's kind of mystery box that shows up.
It's a present to yourself.
Yeah,
basically, you know what I mean. Shout out to the boys from Vino Mofo, by the way. I think it's Justin and Andre. So I know I'm friends with Justin on Twitter. I haven't spoken to him for a long time, but anyway, shout out to those guys. But exactly, like you open it and you're like, I haven't tried this wine before. I haven't tried this whiskey. Like it rocked up on my doorstep. We had it at dinner. Everybody loved it. You know what's going to happen next? People are going to go buy more. So
you're going to buy it for your mates, and you're going to buy it again because for a special occasion, you're going to buy it, and you never would have bought that thing before. So I think there's something in that as well. Again, I guess that kind of requires that you have quite a broad range of stuff that you could do that with.
Well, the undies guys have, from what I looked at their website, they have, I don't know, 100 different types or whatever. I don't know what sort of undies I was getting. I opened them. I'm like, wow, that's pretty colorful. So anyway, now I'm like,
give us a spin, mate. Give us a spin.
I don't have the one today. I've got the buttons on.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Next episode, folks. Tune in to episode 20. We'll do a special live undies edition of the show.
No, that's on my OnlyFans account.
It's a different insight session.
Yeah, $2 a minute. So, but anyway, as always, that was a 10-minute episode that went for 17 minutes. So
if you 17 minutes is the new 10 minutes.
That's the new 10 minutes. Yeah. So anyway. Any questions about how to roll this out into your business? You know where we are. Send us an email. And as always, hit that subscribe button. We really need more subscribers. I'm getting a bit sad. We're putting out all this like content that I've been building for 22 years of my life to share it with you guys. Like, just say something. That'd be fantastic. Share it with your friends.
Pity likes, folks. Come on, we're asking for pity subscriptions.
Just pity subscriptions.
We'll take them all. Pity likes, pity shares.
Anything's good. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And see you in episode 20 next. Jeez, that's good.
20.
Episode 20. Cool.
All right, gang. Cheers. See you next time.
Bye.